Too bad.
You're the star of the show.
I've had my own solo.
Sit down.
All right.
Sit down.
There we go.
Oh, it is on. Ooh, this is very fast and easy.
Hello.
How's it
How are
going?
you?
This is the, what do we call it? YouTube IRL, YouTube channel and content creation. Or you can just read it.
Yep.
I guess we'll introduce ourselves to begin with, starting over here.
Hello, you've already seen me today. My name is Sophie Carlon. I'm a writer and a YouTuber. That's why I'm here. Specifically, YouTubing about books, writing, reviewing, anything literature-based, that's sort of my jam.
I'm Adam from Topshelf. We do games, gear, events and beer, so we do reviews and gameplay as well.
I'm Lachlan from Pathetic Industries. I kind of just do whatever I want all the time. Just make anything, gameplays, anything, sketches, whatever. Basically, we just want to talk about YouTube stuff. So if you have any questions, anything you want to know about creating content or how to monetize and all that kind of stuff, just raise your hand and I'll run to, get a question. If not, we'll just talk about whatever. Any questions?
Hey!
I like you guys. You guys are different.
Yay!
So my question is, how do you get a following on YouTube when you have no friends and you're not much following on any other social media?
Magic? No, it's getting followers on YouTube is a weird thing. You can make basically anything you want, any content you're interested in, and there'll be someone out there who wants to watch you do it. So I guess a weirdly serendipitous one for me was I made just a random video doing a bunch of voice impressions and teaching people how to do it, and it just got picked up and just went everywhere. People just found it, and now I have a bunch of subscribers that I actually don't know, like people that I don't actually know in person. It's pretty cool. It's one of those weird things, you can write things in the title that can stick out to people that they're looking for, but a lot of it is sort of random. You guys have anything else to add?
I think also just keep going, keep consistently making stuff. Because if I see someone and they've made a video and go, oh that's cool, but they haven't made anything in 5 months, I'm not going to subscribe because I'm like, well, I've already seen all your stuff, what's the point? So I've been doing this for 10 years, so just keep consistently making it and you will gain traction eventually, so yeah.
Yeah, pushing yourself as well, always trying to improve, making your content better. There's obviously ways of social media, going on forums and that sort of stuff of like-minded people who might like your content and talking about their interests and then maybe filtering them towards your channel.
Yeah, does that help you at all? Awesome. Anyone else want to ask anything, or are we just going to shoot into whatever we want to talk about? That sounds good.
Yeah, let's do that.
Alright, let me check my notes.
Alright.
I definitely made notes for this, and it wasn't 10 minutes ago. Definitely not.
15,
At least, yeah.
at least.
Alright, I guess a good thing to talk about would be like how we all got started in making YouTube content to begin with, and how like other people should get started from there. So do you want to tell your origin story?
My origin story is being kicked with my friends in my bedroom and a camera, which I think is always, very, very interested in filmmaking. I went to film school, I did a degree in that. I'm just starting out and playing and just having fun with it and being stupid.
Yeah.
That's all. This was before, like I said, this was 10 years ago, so this was before being a YouTuber was a career.
Yeah.
It was still anyone and anyone can do this, and there are no expectations. It's a little bit different now, I think.
Yeah, there's obviously a lot more content out now, so you've got more competition. I was employed as an AV person, and that sort of got me interested in film, and got some friends together and wanted to make YouTube videos for fun. So, trying to keep motivation up while you're doing that is a key thing. And that was why I got so interested in doing it. I love filmmaking. I love watching interesting transitions, or how did they even film that? Where was the cameraman when they were doing that? So.
Basically the same. I think a lot of people go into YouTube just because it's an easy way to start filmmaking if you've got a slight interest in it, or even anything creative. If you've got a slight interest in painting or playing games, YouTube will let you show that as an outlet to anyone. Mine was pretty much the same thing. I went to start going to film school, wasn't really learning anything at film school, so it was just like to teach myself and use YouTube as the outlet to do it. Any advice for someone who's trying to start a YouTube channel? No.
Make what you want to make, and my rule of thumb that I've always used and I still use is if I laugh, someone else will laugh. If I think this is interesting, someone else will think it's interesting. A lot of people might hate it, but if I hate making it as well, what's the point?
Yeah, definitely. You need to be interested in and engaged in what you're making. If you're sitting there bored as making a video, well, everyone else is going to be bored watching it. So make sure you're engaged in it and just start making videos, because you'll get better. You'll get better at editing. You'll get better at thumbnails. You'll improve and watch other people that do similar content. That'll give you good tips as to what they're doing. Maybe not that you do the same, but what might be working for them.
The other thing that you guys didn't really touch on, I think, is finding a niche. Like, you don't want to be the same as every single person on YouTube. You want to be your own individual creator. Anyone can start a game and play Halo, but you've got to find a way to make it interesting and unique and make you as an individual stick out. Because millions of people make YouTube do that. Finding a niche is the other thing I add on. Keep turning this way that mic.
Has anyone thought of any questions they wanted to ask?
You people just raise your hand and we'll run the microphone to you.
No. You uncurious bunch.
What else on my list of things to talk about? It's very obviously very planned.
I'd say one of the tips for YouTube is probably if you can specialise a bit. We've got a mixed channel because we wanted to do lots of different things. So we do gameplay and beer reviews because my friend really likes beer. But I think our channel might be more successful if we'd specialise to just one of those. But that's not what we enjoy, so we're going to keep doing what we do. But if you have something, just that one thing that you like, and you continually do videos about that, the person might stumble across your channel and find it. And then they'll come back next week and, you've got a new video about a similar sort of information. Then they'll know, I can always come back here and get good info about that.
I mean, there's like scientific evidence for that just on the stage. Adam and I both do very variety style channels, we just make whatever. And then Sophie has very direct content, and she has like more than double. If Adam and I combined our subscriber count, she still has heaps more than that. So it's it's definitely about like specializing in something.
And I do find, so if you're not familiar with the booktube side of YouTube, the big ones are book reviews every month of what you've read, book hauls every month of what you've read, and then generally there'll be a video that everyone seems to be doing at that point, like the ugliest book covers I own. Well, all those will consistently get the same amount of views. If I do a video, here's my pet snake being an idiot again, I think that's hilarious, but it will get half the views because it's not what people come to my channel for.
Yeah, so it's all about just directing your content, really. What was I going to say? There was another thing we had. Any hurdles that you guys have in creating content? Anything you just run into that's a constant block?
Mine is like physical illness. I'm chronically ill, which is great. It's so much fun. So yeah, finding motivation to get up and do it, even if I am dead tired and don't feel well. Sitting down in front of the camera for 10 minutes and making sure I film something. I can edit it later, I can film a few at the same time, but trying to consistently make stuff.
Yeah, finding the time can be a challenge. All I'd say is that if you come home that night and you have a spark of motivation to do a video, do it. Don't go, I might just sit in front of the TV and I'll do it tomorrow. You already got that spark, so grab onto that and do that video right then, because you'll be more positive, you'll come across that way in your videos.
Yeah, I think John Cleese said about Monty Python stuff. Like, you don't just sit down and say, I'm going to write something funny now. It has to just come, like, it just comes to you. You'll be out in the street and just write it down and whatever you think about it. Do you guys have any solutions for dealing with those kind of issues? What are the solutions to the hurdles?
Consistency. And it's you. If you're doing it for fun or doing it for business or what have you, it's about treating it like a job and showing up and making a schedule for yourself and
Like setting deadlines?
yeah, if you want your channel to thrive and to get somewhere and to be a platform for you, then you do need to treat it as a little bit more of a responsibility than just a hobby, if that's what you're aiming for.
I'd say also doing collabs and things like that, reaching out to like-minded YouTubers, that can always give you an extra push and motivation. Plus you get extra ideas when you talk to other people, you know, they might have a great idea for a video, but they don't have what they need to do it, but you do, so you can work together and build your channels together.
That actually kind of leads into one of the other notes that I definitely made a couple of days ago, not 15 minutes ago, about like collabs and the do's and don'ts of collaborating with other YouTubers and stuff. Is there anything you guys want to talk about? Any like horror stories or anything?
Collabs are really hard for me because my little social sphere of YouTube, everyone's in the UK, which is a long way away. And I'm just here in Australia by myself and they're talking about the women's prize and getting sent books. I'm like, I hate you all, I'm really jealous. Yeah, collabs would be great, and I do find that when those people collab amongst themselves, it's awesome and you can see it does great things with their channel. And then I like this little social experiment over here, and you can see it does slow you down if you're just sticking to yourself. So collaboration and socialization is a huge factor in pushing your channel forwards.
Adam and I are from Canberra, and our little Canberra YouTuber community is, hey, someone's cheering.
Yeah.
No. But yeah, we have a little community of actual YouTube people that all, we have a big Facebook page where we can all talk and hang out and work together and whatever and help each other actually make videos, and it's really quite helpful. Just having other people around that have the same interests and help you out with equipment or YouTube stuff. Like, I don't know how to use a computer, but I upload to YouTube every week or so. And if I can't do it, if something doesn't work, I'll go to the YouTube, the Facebook page and just shout out to anyone. Hey, they'll fix me because they're a bunch of nerds.
Yeah, exactly. One of the key things I'd say with collaboration is see if you've got some chemistry with the person before you start filming 43 videos. Because if you end up hating each other, that's going to come across in the video. I've done a couple where the person was pretty unreliable, and so whenever I finally got to do it, I was already a bit frustrated, and that probably came across in the video.
There's definitely something to be said about when you're collaborating with someone who has a similar audience. Like, it wouldn't make much sense for my channel of doing like sketch comedy to collaborate with Sophie doing just books. It makes no sense at all, and the audiences aren't interested in the other thing. So finding the right partner to collaborate is also a very important thing when it comes to collaborating. Unless you're just friends, in which case whatever. Just work with your friends, it's fine.
Yeah.
I think something we really drive home is that YouTube doesn't have to be this big, scary business. It can just be fun. It's a hobby. Yeah.
Does anyone have any questions?
Any new people? Come on, everyone.
Too slow. My name's Derek. I make really terrible YouTube content online.
So we all.
What's the best way I can get that rice gum money?
Rice scum money. I mean, it's kind of in the word rice scum, right? The scum is the good part. If you're just a bad person, it seems to work really well for the YouTube algorithms. If you do horrible things, it actually it helps, but it's not a good thing to do. That would absolutely help you, yeah.
Now, I'm probably a bit late and I might have missed anything about, I suppose, the app topics. Do you think, do you guys make money off the ad revenue, or do you guys rely mostly on Patreon or something?
I make about $100 a month off YouTube, and I do make a little bit off Patreon as well. It's different for me because I'm such a small channel relatively, so it's just working as a bit of pocket money. So the adpocalypse, if anyone who doesn't know, YouTubers would make their income off the ads advertised on their videos. And then YouTube lost its mind and screwed up the algorithm, and now everyone's poor.
Yeah.
Things went very badly wrong very quickly. I'm not big enough that it even bothered me at all, but I have seen a lot of large YouTubers, especially those who are LGBTQI, who were targeted by the algorithm and sort of weeded out. Unfortunately, they've been turned into traditional methods of income, unfortunately, because it has affected them quite severely.
Yeah, I've seen some small YouTubers who may only get similar money to you, but they were able to put that money back into their channels, you know. And I mean, maybe $100 doesn't sound that much, but that might be $100 closer to getting a better microphone, or you know, getting a green screen for yourself, all sorts of stuff like that. I don't monetize. I could have before, but now YouTube's vetoed me with their 1,000 subscriber rule or whatever. But I actually make more money off getting discounts off products. So occasionally, if I'm interested in buying a product, I might contact that business beforehand and say, look, I'm looking at buying one of your products. Would you give me a discount if I give you a review? I explain that it's going to be unbiased. I'm not going to go, oh, your product's so awesome and rah rah. But I've definitely made a reasonable amount of money, or saved a reasonable amount of money by doing that. So that's an option for you as well if you're looking at buying new things.
I mean, I have nothing to add. You guys said everything I was going to say. So. Something else that sounds intelligent coming from me. Any other questions? Take the hands. New people that have sat down? If not, I've got all the notes. So.
There's no
Fine.
such thing as a bad question.
No, only bad answers. No?
Yeah, that too, but
What we got in here? I think a big problem with early YouTube and starting out getting motivation is editing. Because editing videos is, if you don't know how to do it, it's impossible. It looks so just unknown. You open an editing program, you have no idea what you're doing. It's the biggest hurdle you'll ever face. So I guess what I'm asking is what about editing programs for you guys? How did you learn? Where did you learn? What do you use? What's the best one to start out with? And those kind of things.
well, I'm an editor by trade. I did that professionally for a while.
Just got everything, won't
So, look, I'm a jack of all trades, alright?
We'll just leave out the back door quietly.
I mean, I was so stressed I got strep throat. That was fun, but now I work in retail and life is nice. I started out on the shittest editing software that ever existed. It was terrible. It came free with my little Canon camcorder. You couldn't save a project and go back into it, and you could cut and shrink. That was it. And it was the best way to learn editing I could have wished for, because you have to sit and figure out, okay, what footage have I got? How am I going to string it together into something entertaining? I have 2 tools at my disposal, and you have to get creative. So don't worry about the Flash software. That can come later. Use Windows Movie Maker and go for your life.
Yeah, there's a lot of free programs out there like Film 4, I think. DaVinci Resolve has a free version as well. So have a look out there, but try to find something relatively basic to start off with. So I used Adobe Premiere Elements. It was like $40 for an old version off eBay. But it has all the basics in there, but the best thing is it starts with a really simple interface, which you can then go to a more advanced interface later on. So it's all within that one program, but it'll give you little hints and tips at first, and then you can move on to the advanced one and expand your abilities then. And keeping your costs down, because you're just starting YouTube, you're not making lots of money. You don't want to go, oh, I'll just spend $1,500 a year on Adobe Suites or whatever, when you can get something for free and it'll do the job.
Yeah, no, that's a good point to start out with the free stuff. There's a lot of free editing programs that are all open source created. People just make a bunch of editing programs to use. It's very helpful, and obviously there's tutorials all over the place, all over YouTube. There's a tutorial on how to use any and every editing program in the world. The one I use and have used since I started out was one called Pinnacle. It's really obscure. Like no one, every time I say it, every other person goes, "What's that one? What's that? Where does that come from?" It's really easy to start out. It costs about $80 or something, but it's all the user interface is very simple and it shows you exactly what you need to do. And it has all the advanced tools for advanced editors, but you don't need those. Once you start out with editing, you can use this program easily and just slowly build up your skills and all the advanced stuff without buying any extra programs. It's really quite helpful.
Yeah, and I will add to that. Like I said, I was a professional editor. I did 2 years of it in film school. Editing like my jam. If I was still in the industry, that's what I would be doing. I don't use all the fancy tools. I cut and I paste, but I'm just really fast at it. So don't stress about editing software. Just use the one that YouTube gives you.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, cutting and pasting is all you really need to do with editing. Everything else is just fun peripherals that can make stuff better if you need it, but if you find anything that you can do cut and paste well enough, you should be right.
Yeah, when you're editing, I always try to have a thing in the back of my mind, is this going to add any value to my video? So I might have the best shot in the world of something, but if it's not relevant to my video, then, well, if I put it in, it's not going to make any sense. I'll be there going, "Oh, that is so cool," and the person will be watching my video going, "Why are we watching this? It has nothing to do with what I was watching."
Actually, that might be a good point. It kind of negates everything I already said, but you want to sometimes stay away from all the advanced stuff because you'll spend an hour making something ridiculous and just stupid, and you put it in 1 second in your video and no one will notice it. They won't even bother. You'll hear nothing but this thing is so proud of that you took an hour and a half to make. The video itself is just good, so you don't need that kind of stuff. It's one of those fun things.
Yeah, chasing that last 5% of perfection is not always worth it.
Yeah. That kind of brings us nicely from editing into just general equipment, like cameras and microphones. And what would you use if you're starting out on YouTube? What would you use to start out on YouTube?
Your phone. Because the cameras nowadays are so good that you can just use your phone. I keep thinking of when I was starting out YouTube when I was this tiny little 15-year-old and we had the shitty webcams and they were awful, and like you're going into JB Hi-Fi and just begging them what's the best camera you have for cheap, and that's not a question that has a good answer. Just use your phone and airdrop it to your computer and start editing. So don't buy anything. The most important thing is good lighting. So natural lighting, well-lit area, get a lamp, do something, make sure you look, everyone can see everything in the frame. If you're going to invest in anything, buy a microphone.
Yeah, audio is key.
People will watch something that's out of focus. They won't watch something that they can't hear.
Yeah, that's exactly right. When I was first looking into YouTube, I watched a bunch of videos to get some ideas of what worked and what didn't. One of them was key was lighting. I was watching a review and I couldn't see the product because the person didn't have any lighting. As you said, you can use a lamp. You can put a little bit of white cloth in front of it to diffuse that light if you need to. Really cheap options are out there without spending much money. And then, as Sophie said, audio. So even you can get little mics off eBay for your phones, and they'll do the job to just boost up that audio if you need it, and you can do it all on the cheap.
Yeah, I mean, you can even use this like a torch on your phone while you put your phone out using your camera. An easy experiment, like show of hands who has a camera on their phone. Keep your hand up if you have 2 cameras on your phone. Yeah. Everyone's got at least one, right? Every camera on a phone is better than a lot of like just generic camcorders on the market at this point. Flying on them.
Yeah, so use what you have, guys. Just get out there and start filming things. You can always improve the quality of your equipment. It's more about the content that's more important.
Even improving the quality of equipment is a bit useless if you don't know how to use the equipment you're improving. I've got there's a lot of friends of mine who really want the newest and coolest cameras and they have no idea how to use them. They'll spend thousands of dollars on something that they just hit record on, which you can easily find. They don't know how to use any video. It's one of those, it's one of those things you just wait and be patient and make sure you know what you're doing and what you need before you buy it.
Anyone think of any questions? I'm going to keep asking you.
Is there anything we haven't covered or need to elaborate on so far?
You can have his phone if you ask a question.
What else is in here? I guess a good question is, who do you guys look up to? Like, who's your inspirations for making content? It doesn't have to be on YouTube, just in general. Who do you look up to find inspiration?
Particular YouTuber I really love is Jen Campbell. She's also a booktuber. She's basically our queen. So she has about 40,000 subscribers, which is like pretty fair whack for our queen. I have 7,000 for comparison. So I'm actually very down here. But yeah, it's really interesting watching YouTubers you admire and seeing how they set the tone for everyone else in that community. So she would make a video saying, oh cool, this is my favorite book of the year so far. And then you'll see that book pop up on everyone else's channel because we're like, oh, it must be good. And if you saw my talk earlier, you know that's not always the case. But anyway, yeah, and often if you work hard enough, those YouTubers you admire can become your friends as well. So they're not up here, you can talk to them and they're people.
Yeah, I guess for me, we do lots of different content, so I've got lots of people that inspire me. I'm watching Craig Adams at the moment, who's a wedding videographer. That's not really related to my channel, but it does inspire me in the techniques that he uses and the information that he can provide. He's got really good tutorials on editing and things like that, so you can always get information out of that. He's one of my favourites. And then, I've got people who do beer reviews and Rooster Teeth or something who does a game review. Yeah, I've got quite a few.
I've spent this whole time trying to think of people who inspire me for good reasons, and I've got nothing. People who inspire me are actually people that are really bad, like terrible people that I don't like as a person. A lot of other small YouTubers, like friends of mine. I say friends, I don't really like them very much, clearly. They do a lot of things that I find that are really, they irritate me a lot. They'll call out other people online and release people's home addresses and do horrible, horrible things. And just make videos that they think are really great and they're just sort of trash. And those people making trashy stuff sort of inspire me to just do better and just improve and just show them how much better I am than them. Which is a very selfish way to be inspired by something, but it works. I have fun, I'm motivated by other people and my anger against them, I guess.
Use that anger.
Yeah, exactly.
Use the force.
I'm actually, honestly, the questions that I wrote up that was definitely in preparation of this are out. But I was wondering if you guys had any tips left for anyone just starting on YouTube, just general stuff, any lessons you've learned over the years.
Do we have more questions first? I thought I'd ask.
Just a lot of movie.
There you go. Mine. Yours. Oh, I'll do so.
Sorry, I've been waiting to get off the stage for ages. What's up?
What do you recommend for people who are recently opening a gaming and reaction channel?
This is not my world.
If you can find interesting games that maybe there isn't a lot of content on, if you have a look on YouTube, like Fortnite is a game that's out at the moment. It's a wash over it. If you do the same thing that everyone else does, you'll probably just slip through the cracks and no one will see you. So if you can find something really interesting or something that's obscure, there was a really cool voice game phone, so you had to control this chicken with your voice by going bark, 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 over gaps. It's hilarious to watch. So, finding something like that can help. Doing collabs.
Like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye, they watch PewDiePie before they became a channel, and they do pretty much the same thing as PewDiePie, except PewDiePie is also a comedy channel like Smosh.
I think making sure your personality is also a big draw.
Yeah, even like how mine's all anime.
Sorry?
Puzzle anime reference and bad skeleton puns.
Yes, yes, do all the puns, because that's how I roll as well. And it's done. Yes.
That's it. See that personality right there? That's what we need.
Yeah, definitely being an individual, like Multiplayer and the other guy, Jack something. Exactly, like being an individual, being yourself.
He's just Irish. You got an accent.
She's doing your impressions, man.
Yeah, she's doing my job. Making impressions, that's the one that's the good niche to find, but it's definitely not already taken by me.
Is there any other questions out there?
Mine's still down here. One last question.
What about Minecraft?
What about Minecraft?
Minecraft's really interesting and a YouTube thing, because it's like what Adam said with Fortnite before, how it's really a lot of people have done it now. It's a little overdone.
What you can do though with Minecraft, I've seen some people doing videos on specifically building shields or bits and pieces, specific buildings. So if you're really good at building, I don't know, statues in Minecraft, buddy, build some awesome statues and show them what blocks you use, and they might come along and see your stuff.
Yeah, just find a way to set yourself apart from all the other Minecraft people. You gotta be better than everyone else. Question?
For Minecraft, most YouTubers build things, so maybe he could make it that maybe if you get to the point if we could like code and you can make your own mod and demonstrate it. So making an anime mod.
Okay. I think we just figured out like a product instead. An idea and two people that want to make something together.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
This is a lot more comfortable than that is. Any other questions before I sit back down on the check? Again? Alright, sure.
Doesn't have to be YouTube related, by the
Yeah.
way.
No.
At this point,
Expand your horizons.
ask what anyone.
How do you all get your sweet leaves?
Well, I went to a professional instead of doing it in my kitchen. This is-
I have a question.
Yeah.
What's the sweet leaf?
I think it's your hair, dude.
I like it.
I'm just happy it's called sweet.
Yes. That's lovely.
I'm just lazy, I didn't get a haircut. So, there's 3 different tips for you to get a sweet leaf. Got another question? You have your hand up?
Minecraft is a good game.
That's an excellent
Agreed.
question.
Yep. We'll agree with that.
Yes, agreed. You got any
Anyone
questions behind me? I
else?
think this person. I'm psychic. That's my whole channel.
Everybody should watch anime.
That's not a question.
Okay, I recommend if people are willing to watch anime.
Have you thought about anime-related channel? I don't know anything about anime. People that do reviews and stuff. Reacting to animes, that could work. I mean, that's a good niche to get into, is reacting to animes, because I've never heard of anyone that does that stuff. Is your hand up? Oh, yes.
Don't walk.
How's your speakers, mate? So, like, there's in the audio field, there's a lot of very grey areas on YouTube where it's like there's a whole heap of proprietary stuff, but there's no content on YouTube about it. Like, do you think that that would be something that might intrigue people's interests? In that kind of
Absolutely.
way?
You have the whole world watching, so it's not just like, oh, there's this many audio specialists in Australia, so that's your audience. There's literally anyone who's interested in audio throughout the world. So, yeah, if your interest is grey area or not being represented, it's not because people aren't interested, it's just because that stuff hasn't been made yet. Yeah. Like most of my viewers after like America and Canada are in Germany and I think the Netherlands. Just really random. So you don't know where people will be watching from.
But yeah, absolutely. That's a niche that you're talking about. And that's like the one thing you need to find in YouTube, is sticking out from everyone else. Because there's, I don't know what it was, there's 10 million at least channels at this point. It's ridiculous. Actually, another really interesting thing I figured out the other day, a friend of mine was looking at something called Social Blade, which is like this tracks YouTube statistics on your channel and everyone else's. he has, I think it was 500 subscribers, and I have just over 1,500. And the difference between these, the 10,500,000, like most subscribed person, the difference from 500 to 1,500 is 9 million people. I'm not 1 million joined something like that, actually. A lot of numbers. That kind of just goes to show exactly how many channels are out there and how small the gap of like 1,000 to 10 million is the highest subscribed channel is. It's incredible. Question? Yes and no. Doesn't count.
I was just gonna say, hey, what? So you mean like how I just go making like fart parodies of like Let It Go? I want to sing the chorus before.
That's a question.
Yes, sir.
Can you sing the chorus?
One of the
Hold on. We have another question back here. You can sing the chorus at the end. That'll be the big finale.
Have you considered live streaming instead of playback?
A lot of, well, like we mentioned the apocalypse before, a lot of YouTubers are switching to like Twitch and live streaming because people are watching and it's more profitable and it's worth the time. For me, it wouldn't be worth it because I enjoy editing so much, which is where I get a lot of pleasure in the process of making YouTube videos. But if you're very interested in just the recording side and just the communication, that's a really valuable platform that I think is coming to the top as well.
Yeah, I think the advantage with live streaming is the fact that you're immediately engaged with your audience. So they're on there sending you messages while you're doing whatever you're doing, and you can immediately respond. You don't get that with YouTube where you make a video and you put it out. It'll take time for people to respond and time for you to respond. So there's benefits there. I don't live stream because of Australia's internet is so awesome. So yeah, it would just sort of be and not much would happen. And it's only going to work with some of my stuff, like you were saying, Sophie. I'm not going to live stream a fridge review or a headset review because that would just be a bit weird. I think people will come back and look at that when they're ready. But gaming and things like that, they work really well for live streaming.
Yeah, I think one of the bigger hurdles with live streaming is just being on the whole time. Like with editing, you can, say you're playing a game, you can have 10 minutes of just silence from the commentators and it won't matter because you're just going to cut it out later. But with live streaming, you have to be like ready to go, you just have to keep going and be on and funny and entertaining the whole live stream. But other than that, like it's a very helpful way. People have exploded recently just by doing just live streaming only, and it works. It works perfectly.
And if you don't like editing, live streaming is pretty good.
Anyone who hasn't asked a question want to ask a question?
No.
We're going to give someone else a chance before going back.
Do you want to go? No.
Give us a question. Alright. What do you want to ask?
What happens if you live stream and you don't actually do face reveals and you actually just draw a character? Then that's going to be really problematic, right?
I don't know. How are you drawing? You say draw a character?
My channel, I've got this humanoid butterfly that shows up in the corner of the screen where a face cam would normally be. Because I can't afford a face cam because I'm poor as.
I mean, at that point, you can just, I know in live stream stuff, you can just set up a little template and you can have the logo in the bottom corner if you need to. Like that's how people get their webcam there. It's a little template, you can hit a button and that's what the webcam shows up. Hit another button that can be across the other side of the screen. So, I mean, that works. It's a good idea. Like people will probably be demanding a face reveal because that's just what happens with those kind of channels. Sorry. Microphone can't hear you because it's in my face. Hold on. Go again.
I'm going to sing Play the Ink instead. I'm going to put on the instrumental off my phone.
Alright. Look forward to that. I honestly, no clue what that's saying. No clue what you just said.
And then I'll sing everybody will know when it's the other.
I was thinking, what did you guys do when you were thinking about branding your channel? So when you first start, obviously you just got a blank page, you've got nothing, you've started a YouTube page. How did you work out what are you going to call it? What sort of images are you going to use? That sort of stuff.
That's a good question.
I think a big trend I've noticed in the last couple of years is people don't use usernames so much anymore. They're reverting back to their own names and using their own identity as a brand. So you don't really see like Mika Kitty anymore, or yeah, or you know, PewDiePie is quite unique in that it is an alias, it's a pseudonym, whereas a lot of people are using their own names. So I did that from the start just because I couldn't think of anything else. And I think branding comes with time, and you'll figure out what makes you stick out. So if you make 100 videos, you're gonna naturally develop some sort of theme, and it's okay to wait and make it organic and not have this huge big marketing plan ready to go.
The way I started out my channel, actually, the branding of it came from years ago, like 4th grade for some reason. Me and my friends used to draw little comic books, just for fun. It wasn't going anywhere. But we always put a little logo at the back and bought up Pathetic Industries from them. No idea why. I think I just found it funny at the time. And that just kind of stuck with me, just in my mind. Like that was still a funny idea for a legitimate business. And so when I got to the point where I was making YouTube, I just stuck with that name and just sort of carried it over, because it's never been taken before on any website. No one else wants to be called Pathetic Industries, so it works well when I'm trying to get like an Instagram account and a Facebook page and all that stuff. It's always just, it's the first one. It's works out quite well. And then the logo has also not changed. I made it in MS Paint like 10 years ago, it's still there. Which I should probably update now that I think about it.
I think also branding doesn't necessarily mean fancy. So there's a wonderful Australian YouTuber called Friend of Geordie's. He's more of a satirical comedian. And yeah, he has like Microsoft Paint quality images, and like his costumes are from the reject shop.
His camera's just dirt.
His camera's dirt, but he has a lot of subscribers because it's clever and it's funny. That's what you need to focus your time and energy on, is what's coming out of your mouth and your brain, then just can come later.
Yeah, that's the real branding, is what you actually do in the videos rather than what they look like. Satisfied? Adam?
Yes, sir.
Anyone else have any questions? Anything we haven't touched on yet? Raise your hands if so. Anyone?
You've had your fair share of me.
Yeah, that's fine. No, that's what the whole panel's about, is answering questions that people have. So what do you want to ask?
I was gonna say, but what if you're that type of person that if you just go and knows nothing, you're screwed? Like, for me, I've already done that. I'm gonna do a face reveal. If I get 10,000 subscribers and 20,000, it's gonna be merch time. And 5,000 is gonna be monetization, which is the thing that you switch so that Google puts ads on your video so you get money.
So, I guess your question is like, what if you have this big plan and it doesn't actually pan out to go anywhere? Is really what you're asking?
I'm trying to say, what if you're just that type of person? When you don't have a plan, you're better off just not doing it.
I wouldn't agree with that. It's great if you've got a plan, but you know, we don't have a plan for life either, you know, and people still manage to do that. We go and do jobs that we've never done before and have no idea how to do it, and we just get in there. So I think you know, YouTube is about you trying to do it and trying to find niches and things that you enjoy. And if you've got a plan, awesome. You know, you can set it up, and when you get to your 5,000 subscribers or whatever, then you can release your merch to you've done up and everything like that. But if not, just get out there, have some fun, and try it.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
What was it?
Get on the microphone.
What screen recorder do you recommend?
Adam showed me how to use OBS lately. It's an open source program, which means a bunch of people on the internet made it free for anyone. They just keep updating it as long as it can go. Essentially, yeah, like those games that are just built by anyone. I've heard of it, yeah. But OBS is really helpful. It can record your microphone, the desktop audio, and you can just set it up to really record anything. It's quite helpful if you use it correctly. Adam just told me to download it the day we were going to record something, and then I had to learn it within like an hour and a half. It's fine. Adam, any other screen recorder like recommendations?
I prefer OBS, but there's also MSI Afterburner, That's also software that monitors your PC, so it monitors how hot it is. You can turn your fans up and down, but it does have a good screen recorder and screen capture built in. It's really simple to use. It's only got like 5 options. You don't have to know much about it, and I used that for a good couple of years before I moved on to OBS, which is a little bit more complicated, but it gives you more abilities, just like any editing software. But if you use one small, easy one first, then MSI worked quite well.
If you're not using a PC, there's also something called an Elgato game capture, which is a little box, looks like a hard drive. Plug it into your TV, plug it into the console, the TV, and then your computer, all through different cables, and it will record everything it sees on the Xbox, or PS4, or whatever console you're using.
Yeah, the advantage of those is that they don't use your PC's.
That's the answer in our first question.
No, I just have
What do you
some.
want?
I know you can get Bandicam for like $30, but I'm just saying because there are a bunch of free ones, but Bandicam is more popular if you have money.
Bandicam is only good if you have money, because if you buy the free version, it says Bandicam across the whole screen, and it's very irritating. You were saying? I forgot what you were saying.
No,
I wasn't listening. I don't listen to you.
Yeah, Fraps was fine. Fraps was another one as well, but it's the same problem. You do have to pay money, and it's got a watermark across it. I would say start out with OBS, get used to it, work out what megabits per second means, and you know, just produce a video and go, that was crap. I will adjust everything, and oh, that was better, yay! You know, and it'll do the job.
Oh yeah, what does it mean?
It's how much the computer's processing per second. So it's how much bandwidth or information that your program is putting into the file while you're recording it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Are there any other notes on your phone?
No, we went up like half an hour ago. It's all been just off.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
That will never not be fun.
What's a good tip for, say, a father and son that wants to do a YouTube channel?
Adam, you are a father and your son.
No, I really like that idea. Watch How to Dad, because that's hilarious. I think if you enjoy making the video and you guys have a great time making it and you think it's the best thing ever and you're funny, go with that. Because then other people will go, that's like me. It's like me and my kid. That's funny. So yeah, just don't overthink it. Just have fun and go for it. So that's how all the best things start out.
You can find a channel you want to make, gaming or whatever.
Why did you ask it all the way away there?
He kind of likes hobby kids, so he sort of wants to get along them and do like record himself playing Minecraft and stuff like that.
Yeah, awesome. I mean, I do a little bit of that with my son. He's 8 years old. He's now interested in videos, seen me doing it for years. It's a good time for us to spend time together. Yeah, I mean, you can put an age restriction too on your videos and things like that, so that parents will know that it's safe for kids to watch your particular videos. So you can think about that for a tip. Some parents are very you know, they want to make sure that the kids are watching safe content. If you put those age restrictions on it, then you know they'll know that it's for under this age range. So you can certainly do that, but just try it with your son. You know, you don't ever have to upload it either if you don't want to. You know, you guys can just do it together. My wife was not happy with my boy being on straight away, so we sort of recorded a few things. And I was like, oh, it's totally on YouTube. Yep, there's people liking it and stuff, but I wasn't really allowed to upload it, until a year or two later. So.
If you're looking for programs to use for recording things like Roblox and Minecraft and stuff, there is OBS is actually really helpful. I think you were here for that just a second ago. We'll talk about those kind of screen capture things, but you want to get involved with the screen capture domain and get the microphone. Is there any other questions before I sit back down on the chair? Yes.
I want to say I really like this guy's sword. I just hope it's not real.
Who in the audience has a YouTube channel? Show of hands, like all ready to go. 1, 2, 3, 4. What kind of content do you guys make? What kind of stuff do you make on your YouTube channel? Oh, this kind of good con stuff. Do you find it works out quite well? Always easy? Or are you trying to improve every time? Good enough? Perfect. Yeah, what kind of content do you make?
Well, I'm going to upload my first video today, this afternoon, on Undertale. My plan is for Undertale is do like one of the big boss fights for each episode of it until I get to the end, and then pacifist, neutral, genocide.
I love Undertale. It's a good idea.
Most YouTubers, I mean, Jacksepticeye, Markiplier, etc. They are known fairly well for their Undertale, except from Matt Cat from Game Theory, because he's not allowed to do any theories on it.
What about the guy up the back? What was his content? What was the guy up the back's content?
This man. Who was that on the channel over here? Someone raised their hand. You guys, what kind of content do you guys make?
I make music. Just guitar. I do gaming videos and Jacksepticeye and stuff. I also am planning to convert it into a martial arts based channel.
Cool. Cool. Have you guys encountered any hurdles or anything difficult you've found while doing each? I don't know why I walked away while asking you a question. I'm coming back to that to get the answer. Any hurdles you've come across while making your channels?
Well, one of my main ones was, for the conversion, like the new format, getting the expensive cameras and stuff, and I want to make it as high quality as possible. And that's a bit hard to do that with as much money. So.
I find motivation because you just want to do a video, but then it's like, I'm too tired to do a video, I don't want to do it right now. It's just getting out there and actually trying to make something and uploading it. Yeah, sometimes it's just tiring.
I understand that one all too well, actually. The motivation is really hard to come across. It's sort of this thing where like, motivation breeds drive and drive breeds creativity and sort of this big circle. But finding motivation is really difficult. I mean, you guys talked about finding motivation before.
Yeah.
But
Also making a habit of it. I tend to think, oh, I should probably make a video because that's what I've done for 10 years, sort of thing.
Yeah, it's a constant struggle being a YouTuber, getting motivation. But you know, there's lots of things like that in life that you have to push through and just get off your butt and go and do it. Is anyone looking at starting a new channel at all? Well, congratulations. I hope it goes well.
you YouTube person in the audience. Any closing topics? I feel like we're nearing our time.
I think that's it. I think the main thing is just have fun. Don't look at the big boys in the YouTube world and think that's what I have to be, because that is such a small percentage of what it actually is.
Another big YouTube, well, small YouTube related thing at least is I come across a lot of people that try and like they pretend that they're a lot of a bigger deal than they actually are. Like they pretend that they're the marketplace and it's and stuff, and it's very obvious. It comes up a little egotistical. Is a good word for it. Yeah, they just pretend that they're better than they are. And I think if you just treat YouTube as fun instead of this big business, and you've got 100 or so subscribers, you'll enjoy it a lot more.
Yeah, I'd say don't just join YouTube to make money, because it is really hard to make money on YouTube. I think it's fine if that's part of the reason that you want to join YouTube, but if the only reason you are joining YouTube is because you think you're going to make millions of dollars, you know, there's like this little bit that actually do that. Join it because you're motivated and you're engaged about it, and hopefully the money will follow.
I know you're looking forward to singing, but we just got the cue to wrap up. So instead, you could always make it a video and present it on YouTube for everyone to see. So it's a perfect lesson. I know we actually have to go to
Thank you for watching us and listening to us.
Yeah,
Yes, thank you very much for your time.
Between Sophie, Adam, and Malcolm. See you guys later. Enjoy Gamma.Con.